Sports with Sports Director Carly Murata.
Hey everyone, I'm Sports Director Carly Murata here at Middleton High School as the high school football playoffs kick off tonight, and two Big 8 teams, Middleton and Madison Memorial, going head-to-head in a win-or-go-home game. Let's talk about their seasons. Middleton finished 6-1 in the Big 8 Conference, their sole loss coming to Verona. Earlier this year, the Cardinals defeated Madison Memorial 31-20, but this time around there's a lot more on the line, and the Cardinals sure have a lot of respect for their opponent.
They're a very good football team. Coach Harris does just an outstanding job, him and his staff, preparing their guys every week. And they're physical. They like to run the ball down your throat, and they're very good at that. But yet they got a couple of really good weapons on the outside, so you can't overplay the run or they're going to burn you with the pass. They're just very well coached and a very balanced team.
Well, it's also the girls' state tennis tournament this weekend, and of course, Middleton also coming in as the top seed. Let's go there for the highlights. And the Cardinals facing off against 8th-seeded Franklin in the quarterfinals. Sophie Shee finishes off the rally with a forehand. And now it's Rashika Kamuri following suit. She'll come away with the forehand point as well. We'll have those results coming up tonight at 10. Now we turn our attention to Badger football. They go to Illinois for a huge Big Ten matchup tomorrow afternoon. And the Badgers have won 11 of the last 13 meetings with Illinois despite losing at home last season. And that loss still stings for the Badger football team. Not only did former Wisconsin head coach Brett Bielema and his team dominate Wisconsin 34-10, head coach Paul Chryst was then fired the next day, and Jim Leonard took over as the program's interim head coach. The Badgers players saying that's why this year's game means a little bit more.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors kind of adding into that motivation going into this game.
Absolutely 100% personal. I remember that game. It was a terrible feeling, especially having 2 years ago, going down there and beating them up. And then they kind of clapped back with that. But, it definitely adds another element of motivation to it.
And Leonard is now the senior defensive analyst at Illinois. And a huge volleyball matchup tomorrow night in Lincoln, Nebraska. The Badgers against the Cornhuskers. It's a battle between number 1 and number 2 in the nation. Two unbeaten teams. The Badgers have won the last 10 meetings between the two teams. Head coach Kelly Sheffield said this year's Nebraska team reminds him of one of his old teams.
Nebraska, I think they've won something like almost 95% of their sets at home. They played a lot of home matches, and they haven't dropped too many sets at home. It's a tough place to go in there and play. Their young kids are their entire team is just playing the game really well. It's been fun to see how cohesive they are with that young group. It reminds me a lot of my 2017 team with how young we were, and we weren't playing the game nearly as well as what these guys are.
And first serve for that match is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Big Ten Network. We'll have those highlights on WKOW as well tomorrow night. Well, here we are. Playoffs are here. Win or go home for these teams. I just talked to Middleton head coach Simon. He said he had a hard time sleeping last night. He was so nervous. That's what makes this so exciting. We'll have all the highlights on the End Zone tonight. For now, live in Middleton, I'm Carly Murata for 27 Sports. Back to you guys in studio.